Welcome to Triggered Wrestling. Today we're going to be reviewing the episode of Dynamite from July 19th, which also features blood and guts. So stay tuned because we're also going to be discussing a few kid topics and a blind top 5. DJ,
Triggered Wrestling is so awesome all the way around. That gets me triggered.
Ooh, okay, well let's go with the bad trigger right now.
See, I'm a fan of all of it.
Will force you to watch Triggered Wrestling.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm on now. What's up, everybody? I'm Brian, here with Adrian, as usual, talking about AEW Dynamite. And by God, this was the weirdest episode I've ever seen of any wrestling in my life. Adrian, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I mean, yes, you're right. It was a little weird. There was a squash match. It didn't need to be a squash match. Then it was a title change. A little weird.
I want to say for all of them AEW fans out there that dislike sports entertainment, this entire match was sports entertainment out. This entire show was sports entertainment out. So, Adrian, let's get into it.
Let's get it.
So, previously in the last episodes, we've been seeing Jungle Boy in the parking lot, like not even arriving to the arena. So they showed him in the back, or not even in the back, in the desert. I'm like, is this motherfucker really going to cut a promo in the desert to make sure he's not going to get attacked? Anyways, but no, apparently he was burying something and then takes the limo and then comes up right then and there out of the entranceway to some new music. He's wearing all black. He looks, I don't know. He looks like any generic bad guy that you could possibly see. Music is gone. Is he still Jungle Boy technically, or is he just going by Jack Perry now?
I think he's going by Jack Perry. I think that's, if I remember correctly, that's what the graphics said, and I think that's what the Yapper Dapper announced him as.
Yeah, well, I like it. It's better than Jungle Boy. I feel like Jungle Boy had a limited use. I mean, eventually he's not a boy no more. He's a man, just like Tarzan Duran. We saw him at an SPW. Everybody was chanting Tarzan Man at him at the event. Anyways, continuing along here, Adrian.
And the person Jungle Jack Perry was burying was his former self. Obviously, you didn't see the body. You just saw the shoes. To the avid watchers, they would recognize the shoes. But to somebody who really doesn't really pay attention, it's easily missed. Kind of like how you said he was burying something. It's easily missed. I would have liked it if they showed Jungle Boy, at least in his gear, getting buried. That would have put more, how should I call it? I would have given the viewer something like, oh shit, he's burying his former self, instead of basically reading in between the lines, if you know what I'm saying.
Because all you saw was the boots, right? That's the only thing you saw him burying.
Yeah, that's all you saw, yeah.
And then he came out with the exact same boots, but in black, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. It was fucking weird. Anyways, so we have him taking on Hook. The match was all over the place. The ref got knocked down twice, right?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
All right, you know what? I don't know. Let's just call it once. Either way, Hook kicks out of a nut shot. The crowd pops. And I want to say that this crowd was actually, this crowd was lit up, no pun intended. You could actually see everybody. It wasn't dark and dingy, so I'm assuming they had a good turnout, about 7,000 people.
Yeah, I'm assuming Tony Khan decided to leave the lights on this time. He's like, I got extra cash this week. I can turn on the lights. Why? Because the fans showed up and they paid their tickets, and I have money to pay the light bill.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ. So he kicks out of getting hit in the nuts. Then they fall back into the ref. Hook gets hit in the face with the championship belt, and Jungle Boy wins. He's the new FTW champion. He has ended Hook's streak that is on par with The Undertaker.
Actually, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was 31, 34 matches undefeated?
Something like that. All against questionable talent. Either way, Jungle Boy's the new FTW champion. And you know what really bothered me about this was Taz, his son is Hook, and he saw this going down and did not get his ass up to help his son. Not once, not twice. He didn't even get up. He just let his son take the L in a fucking cheap way.
Yep, and if you notice too, he was getting roasted by the AEW announce team all episode long. Pretty funny. I didn't really catch most of the jokes that they were saying, but yeah, Taz was getting roasted.
No, I didn't catch the jokes. I was just kind of more focused on Hook losing. And it looks bad. It looks bad to me, to both of these guys, because the FTW championship doesn't really mean anything. Hook hasn't been on TV. I don't know. It is what it is.
Oh, Hook hasn't been on TV, but he's been on TV the last, 5 episodes of Dynamite, if I'm not mistaken?
I mean, in the parking lot, struggling with child locks.
If I remember correctly, Mark told me in previous episodes, hey, at least they showed up on TV. That counts.
I guess so, yes. I'm that Mark.
I don't think so.
Anyway, so after this match, we get footage of Alex Marvez about a secret meeting between Chris Jericho and Don Callis, and they're just eating at a restaurant with the door open with no food in front of them, and they just kick him out.
Did you notice their bodyguard resembled somebody?
No.
Drum roll, please. It resembled Oldberg. That was pretty funny. From the side profile, I was like, is that Oldberg? I don't know. And then when he got closer, I was like, yeah, it kind of does look like him. But no, the security guard looked like Goldberg, but it wasn't Goldberg.
Definitely not Goldberg.
Definitely. All right, moving on. We go on to a segment that I had mixed reactions to. It was another one, a video package of MJF and Adam Cole. And this time, they're eating spicy food at a Chinese restaurant or buffet. I didn't catch the name, I'm sorry, but no free ads here, guys. No free ads. They're eating spicy Chinese food somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Do you like this segment? I know you were a fan of the last segment before, the last two segments, if I'm not mistaken.
I was a fan of the gym one. I was not a fan of the last one. I'm not a fan of this one because you're trying to tell me that these guys drank 100% pure alcohol and didn't realize that it wasn't water. Is that what I'm trying to be led to believe?
Maybe, maybe not. There's an episode of The Simpsons when there's a chili cook-off, and Homer eats Chief Wiggum's chili with some Peruvian, I forgot the name of it. This is coming out of the top of my head. But yeah, Homer passes out, starts hallucinating, goes to eat a candle that's full of wax, and that's how he ends up eating the spiciness of the chili. Maybe their mouth was numb enough that they couldn't even tell it was 100% alcohol. I don't know. I'm just trying to defend. I'm an AEW mark.
So you're telling me to understand this segment, I had to know a Simpsons episode from years and years and years ago, which actually I do remember that episode, but that's besides the point because I didn't make the connection until here, but now you're mentioning it to me and I'm like, you know what? That does make sense. I remember that episode, but either way, I didn't like it.
Yeah. I don't like it either.
And then they try to say that the waiter guy reminds him of
said Sammy, and then they said
Sammy
Garcia.
And Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
And then they do the double clothesline on him. This was dumb. I didn't like it. This is your world heavyweight champion. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know.
Yeah, this was a tough one.
Yeah.
Then we continue on to another segment of Don Callis and Jericho. Nothing is being shown again. All they do is come out of the limo and enter the arena. Why are we seeing these? I don't know. If I hate promos or squash matches, you could have literally cut these two out and maybe gave some extra time to a women's match later on the show. Yeah, that was weird. That was not it.
It's must-know information, right? No, there's nothing really to know here.
Yeah, nothing.
They could have easily added this segment to the next segment, which is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Kayla Sparks. Britt Baker, they're trying to make her look like a dominant superstar here, considering she lost to Ruby Soho in the quarterfinals of the Owen Hart Cup. So she beats up a jobber with the lockjaw. I mean, there was only like 3 matches this entire show. 4 matches this entire show. And this was one of them. And this is the only segment that had women in it. And it's terrible. The poor booking of women in AEW at this point is ridiculous.
Yeah, even Uncle Dave said that the only reason why there was this match in the card in the first place was because AEW personnel backstage felt that they needed to have a women's match on the card, otherwise fans were going to complain. But let me tell you right now, this was a squash match of squash matches. What was it, like 30 seconds, maybe less?
If that, that's being generous.
Yeah, no, I mean, fans are still complaining. Come on, you're going to have Britt Baker in a squash match? I mean, if you are, give us some competitiveness. Give it 2-3 minutes at least. At least. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. Right after this, we get Renee Paquette interviewing Adam Cole MJF backstage, saying Cole's not surprised. See, this is back to this. We just had a segment with MJF and Adam Cole. You want to talk about the Judgment Day just running the entire show, being on 5 segments. This is a 2-hour show. We just had a vignette about them bonding, and now we have this interview about them bonding. Cole says that he's not surprised by the chemistry. It's like catching lightning in a bottle, and they're going to win tonight and then win the tag team titles. They end up getting gifts for each other, and it's matching tights, matching trunks. They even have matching jackets. Aww. Adam Cole then promises one more surprise for both of them. Adrian, what do you want to say?
I actually love this segment. I love this segment because, I mean, they're hot. People love it. People want to see more of Adam Cole and MJF. And Roderick Strong looked like a goof, being an afterthought to Adam Cole. But MJF said something as well, too, that was a bar. There's only one plan, and that's plan A. And that plan A is a double clothesline. Those words right there got me hyped up. Got the crowd hyped up. I want to see that double clothesline, and we'll get to see it later on the show, which was amazing for me, for the fans in attendance, and for the millions watching at home.
Did you just say millions?
Yeah, bro.
Not even 1 million, bro. I'll get into that a little bit later. So after that, we get the match. We got Better Than You, Baby versus the ex-Jericho appreciators, Red Death, Daniel Garcia, and Sammy Guevara. And Sammy Guevara still doesn't talk. Somehow Chris Jericho's on commentary for this one. And then they have a fucking awkward-ass dance-off, dude. Sports entertainment to the max. Adrian, talk about the dance moves.
This was amazing, bro. At first, I was like, what the hell is this, man? Then after a while, I started watching. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's pretty cool. But what wasn't cool was Daniel Garcia voluntarily puts his head right next to Sammy Guevara's nuts. Pause. And I didn't know how I felt about that. But once MJF started going on, the crowd went wild. It was good. It was a dance-off. It's something amazing. Something that we don't get to see every day. I know another company tried to do a goofy-ass dancing gimmick, which... Where's that guy at now? What is it? Banksky?
Shanky.
Whatever his name is. Shanky.
And Great Khali.
Oh, yeah, Great Khali.
Wait, are these the only Indian guys that are fucking having the dancing gimmicks in WWE or what, bro?
Wow, because of Bollywood?
And then the Bollywood boys, too, would do that little dance.
Oh, bro, WWE, what is he doing, bruv? But did you also notice Jericho came out and the crowd started singing this song and he told the production team, cut it. Don't play my music. They cut it, and then the fans started singing the music. Damn, my man's over. Even when he wants to cut his music and wants to be serious, a fan still wants to sing Judas. It's an amazing thing to do, especially when you're in there in attendance. I was there a few times. It's Judas in my mind.
Jesus Christ. Well, that singing was a lot better than Sammy Guevara's dancing, bro. Yeah, so Sammy Guevara is not a good dancer. They had a planned out dancing routine, and Sammy Guevara, I don't know, bro. He's supposed to be, what is it? Not the Latino heat. What did he call him? The Spanish god? He's supposed to be a sex god?
Yep.
This motherfucker can't dance, bro.
He really can't.
I was shooketh, bro. I expected more from you, bro. So next time you make it down to Barrio Toys, we're gonna have a discussion about them dance moves, my guy.
Damn.
Because you're making us all look bad here. Jesus. It was bad dancing. And then MJF came out, did his dancing, and then Adam Cole did his hip thrusts, and it was goofy. And then the match happened. The match was just kind of like, meh. They hit the double clothesline. They finally win. And then they got to ruin it, dude. Like, at this point, just let us enjoy MJF and Adam Cole. And this kind of goes to it. Like, the best thing in AEW is MJF. They're making that tag team division look like shit when FTR is the tag team champs and no one cares.
Whoa. They just finished having an amazing 5-star match against Bullet Club Gold's own Jay White and Juice Robinson. They are the best tag team in the world. I mean, here's the thing, too. You were one of the marks that was saying, oh, FTR is going to WWE. FTR made the right decision, whether you like to admit it or not. Right now, Sami Zayn and KO are going through the tag team division like it's nothing, literally taking out the whole division. They have no challengers. They have no teams. I mean, if FTR would have been over there, it would have been jobbers.
I don't think they would be jobbers, bro, but at least, so they get the stare down, FTR and Adam Cole and MJF here, and they're just staring at each other, and then MJF and Adam Cole's music hits, and then immediately right after, Dax Harwood looks at the camera and says, Tony Khan, you should have played our music. We're the goddamn tag team champions. And then it gets super awkward for 2 minutes because all 4 guys are in the ring playing to the crowd. They're not going to commercial. They're just standing there looking awkward, bro. It makes no sense.
Yeah, they were headbutting each other. But I don't know why Dax would say that. I mean, he wasn't in the match. Usually when something like that happens, person was in the match, music hits. I don't know what Daxford was saying. I've always seen that being done in all of wrestling, even WWE. When people come out all the time to accept a challenge, to just get a stare down. I don't know, Dax. I don't know. Besides, that's not your show. Your show is AEW Collision, bro. But this match had it all. Had quote-unquote entertainment, had wrestling, had all of the above. There was a spot where Sammy Guevara and MJF headbutted. Boom. Sammy Guevara fell to the ground. MJF was selling the move just like Ric Flair back in the day. Was wobbly, didn't know what to do. Was he going to fall back? Was he going to fall forward? He fell forward and right into Sammy Guevara's nuts. Luckily, he already has a kid on the way. Otherwise, my man would have been in trouble. It was a great match. Obviously, we knew Sammy Guevara and MJF were going to come out victorious, but they are going to be challenging for the AEW Tag Team Champions on AEW Collision on July 29th. That is in a week and a half away. But yeah, man, I like this match. It had everything. The crowd was chanting. The crowd was hot. The cameraman had a lot of fun showing the crowd throughout the match. Let's face it. Cameraman was like, oh, what is that over there? Is that a body? Is that a human soul? Does this arena really have over 10K souls in here? Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Let me point the camera over here. I thought it was a little goofy, but hey, they had the fans. They finally had something to record. They had content. But right before the match even started, I know I'm going a little off the rails here, when they were dancing, I don't know if you caught this from Jericho. He was like, this is sports entertainment. Ladies are passing out in the third row. MJF is a favorite thing in the wrestling right now. I thought that was really funny. I mean, come on, ladies passing out in the third row. Last time I heard that was JR and Larry the King Lawler in WWE back in the Attitude Era. They used to say, oh, so-and-so's passing out over there. Thought it was cool, a little callback to that. But yeah, I'm going to watch this match between FTR and Adam Cole and MJF. Are you going to have any predictions? Are you going to watch? How do you feel about that?
They're trying to have people tune into Collision to watch the ending of this. And the people are not going to tune in to watch Collision. As we can see by the numbers here, they had the...
0?
No, I mean, not 0, but we'll get there later on because obviously we know the ratings here. 500K around there is what people tune into Collision.
That's a bad thing?
I mean, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but if they're trying to get people to watch their show, get people to watch your main show, which at this point is Dynamite, but it is what it is. We'll talk about ratings later. After this match, we get a backstage segment with the best friends. That includes Chris Statlander, Darby Allin, and Nick Wayne. She runs down pretty much their upcoming matches. Darby says if Swerve wants his attention, he's got it, and he's going to beat him because he beat up his lackey.
Yeah, Renee Paquet pretty much said that Chris Statlander has a TBS match coming up on Rampage against Marina Shafir. Out of nowhere,
who?
Chuck and Trent.
Who?
Marina Shafir.
Who?
You know who she is, bro. Stop it.
What does he say?
You know how I know you know who she is?
How?
Because you're always like, you don't know me. You don't know me.
No, it's not you don't know me. It's you know me. You know me. Fuck, bro. Jesus.
Chuck and Trent, out of nowhere, have a Ring of Honor tag team title shot at Death Before Dishonor. They're going to be facing the Lucha Bros. Orange Cassidy, weirdly, has the night off. Wow, that hasn't happened in a while. But I guess there's going to be a Royal Rampage Battle Royale on Rampage, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the winner gets a TNT title shot.
Yep. And once again, Rampage, a show that not a lot of people watch, bro.
And that's a bad thing?
Nah, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, goddamn, they're promoting gimmick matches left and right all over the place. Giving them out 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s. At this point, what are we? Less than a couple weeks away from All In?
August, yeah, pretty much.
I don't know, dude. I'm not looking forward to it. Just so we can get MJ versus Adam Cole again.
I mean, you're getting a story right here. You get a story, you complain. You don't get a story, you complain.
There is a story, but this is the thing is at this point, the story of them being a tag team is a lot better than the story of them being enemies.
Wait. Aren't you a fan of The Miz?
What does that have to do with The Miz?
Bell, hit the bell. Because my man over here has a lot of lackeys, feuds with them, and you still like the man.
Hold on, what does The Miz have to do with MJF and Adam Cole?
Because MJF and Adam Cole are quote-unquote friends right now, right? Every lackey that Miz has had, they're quote-unquote friends, right? You like Miz, you like all of his feuds, all of his matches.
I never said I liked all of his feuds, bro. I said that I like The Miz.
Okay, so how come you're not trashing Miz then? Because he does feud with a lot of his lackeys, a lot of his quote-unquote friends. I mean, you're already trashing Adam Cole and MJF for that.
I'm not trashing Adam Cole and MJF. I'm just saying I don't want to see them against each other again.
Why? They have a story. They had a good 30-minute match the first time they had it.
I don't know, because I like seeing them together. Once again, the story of them being together is a lot better than when they were going against each other. And they're going to ruin it. It's such good shit, pal, that you might as well stick with it and just change any other plans that you had.
I know you're not afraid to say his name, but it's cool. Back to the topic. Did you hear Darby Allin says, hey, I never asked for anything, Orange Cassidy, but I got a friend that wants a shot at your All-Atlantic Championship. Pretty much tells Orange Cassidy, hey, give my friend a title shot, please. He needs to be on TV. Give him a title shot.
He said, Adrian, I'm going to expose you, bro, because you're not talking shit about wrestlers booking their own matches. Damn, bro.
That was Darby Allin booking a match for his friend, AR Fox.
Bro, they're still booking matches? Rustlers booking matches here? Bro, we just had an episode. Rewind.
I never had a problem with that. That was Edgar.
Nah, bro. Rewind. Last episode, you said, oh, we have wrestlers booking their own matches? Because it was Seth Rollins. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Nope. Actually, you know what? You got to quote me on that one. If you're going to quote me right.
All right. I'm going to pull it up right now.
No, I'll tell you right now. Finn Balor asked for a rematch. Seth Rollins said, why are you telling me? Go to Adam Pearce and book it yourself. You remember?
All right. I remember now.
And that's what I'm saying. I was like, he could have booked his own match by going to Priest instead of talking to Rollins. People book their own matches all the time. Why are you talking to the champion? Go talk to Priest. Go complain. Be a Karen. Get yourself a match, Balor.
Damn. All right. Fine. You saved yourself this time, sir.
Yes.
Jesus. Before we continue along here, Nick Wayne is awkward. He looks like he's just happy to be there, pal.
Yeah, he looks like he's, hey, I'm 18, I got a job. Cool.
Yeah. So we get the Blackpool Combat Club, Cesaro, aka Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta, Konosuke Takeshita, and Pac versus the Golden Elite, Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Matt and Nick Jackson in the Blood and Guts match. Kenny Omega and Claudio Castagnoli start off the match. They're going back and forth. Kenny Omega looks really great. He looks athletic. Doesn't look like he had any trouble with being tired versus his match with Hijo del Vikingo on the weekend in Triple Mania. Yeah. So then next up is Pac. Pac comes out next. About, 4 minutes? Every 5 minutes? Something like that?
Every 5 minutes, yeah.
Every 5 minutes, somebody's released. And I want to say they gave this match an hour of TV time. So Pac is out third. Hangman Page is out fourth. They're beating up each other. Jon Moxley comes out fifth. Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley. We just had an episode on this guy about his Sports Illustrated interview. This man, as soon as he gets in the ring, starts stabbing people in the head with forks.
Damn, that was a sick son of a... You sick.
Yeah, that's what the crowd was chanting for sure, you know? Then he gets a spare fork for Claudio, and they keep hitting each other.
Damn, bro, that's... What, a fork?
With a fork.
I don't know if you noticed, too, you saw the announcers, they said, that's a regular fork, that's not a salad fork, that's an entree fork.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The people that know forks, entree forks are longer and pointier, salad forks are smaller.
That's what she said.
Hey.
Ah, man. Anyways, further down the road, Moxley gets a bucket and it's full of broken glass. Just in time for the timer to kick in, Nick Jackson is out next. He super kicks Cesaro in the face. He hits a Frankensteiner and he puts Claudio into the glass. And then Jon Moxley is right there to make sure that Nick Jackson lands in the glass. He puts a handful of glass on Nick Jackson's chest. So this guy grabs glass with his hands to rub it in Nick Jackson's chest. Then he stomps him out with the glass on the chest. Kenny tries to save him. And then Kenny Omega gets suplexed into the glass.
Yeah, man, this match was it was all over the place. So obviously, you know, there was a lot going on, so we're not gonna catch every little detail. But what I did catch was when Yuta came out, immediately went to picture in picture. Are you happy about that, Brian? Tony Khan has been listening to you.
Yeah, bro. They said we gotta put a commercial on the least interesting person in this whole match.
Started dying. I was like, okay, cool. Yuta comes out, picture in picture. I'm like.
Jesus, it's wild. So Matt Jackson is, back out at a commercial break here now. So Pac gets put into tax, a DDT to Yuta on a chair. There's so much stuff going on. Wheeler Yuta's choking Kenny with the ropes. They're fighting everywhere. Takeshita comes out ninth with a chair shot to Hangman, double German suplex on the Bucks. It's a lot of shit going on here.
Yeah, Takeshita's forearm punch, that one's a vicious one. I don't know if you remember the one he delivered on Ishii. That knocked Ishii the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
You can call me a mark here and there, but I put that forearm punch right up there with some of the big punches. I do. You got the weapon of mass destruction by Big Show. You got the clothesline from hell from JBL. I think it's up there.
Yeah, it's a good forearm, but this match is just so fucking wild. So last we get Kota Ibushi, who's 10th, and this starts, I guess, what they're calling the match beyond, right?
Yeah, I think that's once the 10th man entered the ring, that's when the match actually starts. So the match did not even start yet. The bell rang as soon as Kota Ibushi entered the ring, and it was insane. Because as Konosuke was up there, he came in with serious jabs, serious hooks. If I'm not mistaken, he knocked out Yuta first, then Claudio, then Pac. Then lastly was John Moxley, who was in the back with the nail bed. He brought out the nail bed at some point, and he shoved Omega onto it and suplexed Omega onto the nail bed. I thought that was fucking crazy. But it turns out they were actually screwdrivers.
Yeah, they're screwdrivers, but still, he was power slammed onto a bed of, let's call them nails. Screwdrivers, but nails. Either way, This is ridiculous. I don't know. I don't like this type of wrestling. Kota Ibushi comes out, and he's essentially Superman here at the beginning. The crowd is all going crazy. Fucking weird, man.
Yeah, and then right after that, then Yuta's like, nah, man, I need to take a break, man. He climbs up the cage, and Nick Jackson meets him up there and delivers a Northern Lights suplex on top of the cage. And for a second, it looked like he was going to knock Yuta off the cage, like how Sammy Guevara got knocked out the cage at the last Blood and Guts match. But wait, there was no protection, no airbag, no nothing. So I'm like, what the hell? Is he going to send him down to his death onto the announcer table? Luckily, he didn't. But that would have been a scary one. And as Yuta was like, nah, fuck that, he climbs down. There's still a lot of shit going on in the ring. And one part I do like to point out that Nick Jackson makes it rain thumbtacks in the ring. To me, I was like, bro, you guys are sick AF. I mean, I can't even take a Lego to the toe. And you guys out here making it rain thumbtacks? Yeah, I can see why it's not somebody's cup of tea. Yeah, this match was all over the place.
It was all over the place, to the point that this story doesn't even make sense. At one point, Pac just decides to leave the Blackpool Combat Club and just leaves the match, flipping the bird to Cesaro. And then now you have to pay attention to what happens on Twitter, because matches get booked on Twitter. These two are going to have a Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship match at Death Before Dishonor, next pay-per-view for Ring of Honor. But so Pac leaves them 4-on-5. Essentially, the Golden Elite turned the pages on the Blackpool Combat Club. They end up winning.
Yeah, they ended up winning by cuffing Moxley and Claudio onto the ropes. And Wheeler Yuta is just a punching bag. Ever since he defeated Kenny Omega, or he pinned Kenny Omega, the match has been a punching bag all over the place. I don't know what they have over there in AEW, but Yuta's taking a lot of modern medicine, because he is taking a lot of pain, a lot of damage. I don't know if you noticed too, throughout the match, fans were chanting tables, we want tables. And then at one point they were like, we want fire. And I'm like, what? You guys are some sick sons of bitches, bro.
It's fucking weird, dude. Anyways, like there's that one point where Matt Jackson has his shoe, like the bottom of his shoe is filled with tacks.
Thumbtacks, yeah.
And he's just grinding it on Yuta's face. You know, it's not my type of match. I don't like this type of stuff. Golden Elite win. And then after the match, and this is something you see from fan videos, just for hell and just for the fun of it, you get Kota Ibushi throwing himself into the bed of tacks just for the clout.
I mean, the man wiring some tacks on his back. Who am I to tell him no? If that's what I don't know, man. I have no words for that. I cannot defend that. That's all Kota Ibushi. We know he hasn't been wrestling professionally since he left New Japan. Actually, no, wait. I think he's been in a few indie shows here in America. But yeah, man, he's finally back with his best friend, aka Kenny Omega. Yeah, he also look a little pudgy. Nothing wrong against pudgy people, because your boy is a little on the heavy set side as well. But Kota Ibushi lost some muscle definition. Hopefully he can get that back, because we already know the marks are going to be online. This is what happens when you join Tony Khan's AEW. You lose all that muscle definition. They did it with Keith Lee. I mean, rightfully so. Keith Lee gained some weight. Adam Cole. Yeah, Keith Lee, Adam Cole, and Kota Ibushi. But don't blame it on AEW or Tony Khan. That's what they want to do.
This is what they want to do. It's ridiculous. But going back to the ratings now to show some triggered energy here. So you get the debut of Kota Ibushi, the return of Pac. You get the main event gimmick matches of all gimmick matches that AEW has to offer in Blood and Guts. You get the finals of a blind eliminator tag team tournament, which includes the best storyline AEW has going on of MJF and Adam Cole. Not even 1 million people decided to tune in to watch this. I'm not saying that this is the death of AEW. By far, they're not dying.
What are the ratings? The people want to know.
So according to Dirt Sheet Radio, Dynamite viewers had 953,000 people tune in, which is the highest viewership since March.
953K?
953K. The only reason I say this, not that I care about the ratings, but they do tell a story, is what is the issue with AEW? Because before they were starting with million, they were getting millions constantly. This is the highest rated show since March. And there's a couple shows that they were like 750, 860, just like struggling to get viewerships. And this is them pulling out all the stops. And yeah, you don't even get million people to watch, which is like, I would put it as like the Hell in a Cell of AEW.
Oh, yeah, and I have a couple theories on why I think that ticket sales and ratings are probably poor. After the pandemic era, AEW mainly stayed on the East Coast. They were going to the same arena like, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. At first, they were close to selling out, if not selling out. This was back in 2021. And then after a while, they were just struggling to sell tickets. I'm assuming they just stayed in the East Coast for far too long, and people were like, I already seen this show 3 times in the last 3 months. Why am I going to go again? It gets expensive. It does. And, that's probably why ticket sales struggled in the East Coast, and they came to the West Coast, and ticket sales struggled again. A lot of people say not a lot of storylines or anything like that. But I mean, I'm entertained. I like it. I like that it's more of a wrestling show and not of entertainment, although there was more entertainment on this episode. But they focus more on wrestling, and that's what I like.
So what does that have to do with people watching for free at home, bro?
A lot of people watch wrestling. They want telenovela storylines. I mean, that's not my cup of tea. That's somebody else's cup of tea. If I'm going to watch a telenovela, I'd rather do it in the comfort of my own home.
So why are there not a lot of people watching this show compared to...
Well, as you can see, WWE is not really a wrestling company anymore. They have not been a wrestling company for far too long. They're mainly...
But we're talking about AEW, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Why are you beating around the bush? Let's talk about the troubles AEW has here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, WWE has the storylines. They focus less on wrestling and have more storylines. That's something AEW is struggling in. They have 0 storylines and they focus more on wrestling. Wrestling is not, it's a dying sport, if you'd like to say, like the physical wrestling. As you can see, WWE keeps up with the bloodline because it's a story. People rather watch an hour segment instead of an hour match. I'll put it at that. Would you rather watch an hour segment or an hour-long match? Majority of the WWE fans are going to say the segment. AEW has hour matches, WWE has hour segments. That's the example right there.
I don't know, man. Well, you guys let us know if you prefer an hour-long storyline segment or an hour-long match at Trig_Wrestling, Triggered Wrestling, everywhere else. That's Instagram, Twitter, we're Trig_Wrestling, TRIGG_Wrestling. Everywhere else, we're Triggered Wrestling. So yeah, man. So that ends our review here of AEW Dynamite. We got a couple things to talk about here, Adrian.
Yes, we do. You want to start or should I?
Since you did a blind top 5 with me, I'm going to do a blind top 5 with you, sir.
Ooh, okay. And I have no idea who you're going to say. Damn. I usually do these on you. All right, cool. Hopefully I know my stuff.
Yeah, you better know your stuff here, my guy. So I'm going to go with top 5 manager. Jimmy Hart. The mouth of the South.
I would say probably number 3.
Ricardo Rodriguez, who is Alberto Del Rio's manager.
That's an easy one. Probably 4, only because I don't know who else is coming.
All right. Let's go with Paul Bearer.
Okay, cool. I'll put that at number 2. Undertaker. Come on, number 2.
Mr. Fuji.
Oh, 5.
5. Okay, so whoever this is number 1, right?
Obviously.
Jim Cornette.
Bruh.
Oh, bro, you set yourself up, my guy. You had to know that he was coming up.
No, I mean, number 1, obviously. The last one I have. And I'll tell you why. Did you say Jimmy Hart the first one?
Jimmy Hart was the first one, yes.
Jimmy Hart, I don't really know of his work. I don't really watch a lot of old school wrestling. I do know that it was a mouthpiece. He came out with Hulk Hogan sometimes, or most of the times.
Yeah, with Hulk Hogan, he had his most memorable time with Macho Man as, the Mega Maniacs. He was also the manager of the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, but mostly known for his microphone gimmick, right? His megaphone.
Yep. That's the only reason why I remember him. Ricardo Rodriguez, only because his only managerial position in the company, or a well-known managerial position, was with Alberto Del Rio. He was cool with the way he rolled his R's. I mean, he's a wrestler now. Do you know that? He's wrestling in the Indies.
Yeah, I forgot what his name was. It wasn't like, it was El Local.
Yep.
Yeah. Ah, fuck. And then I said Paul Bearer, who's the...
Paul Bearer, I put him at number 2. Again, he did manage a few people in the indies and in WWF. Did you know that he actually managed LA Knight and Brian Cage in a tag team?
Yeah, was it in TNA or where was that at? I don't remember.
I don't know. That was early Brian Cage and early LA Knight. They looked like babies.
Jesus. And then I also said Mr. Fuji.
Mr. Fuji? Yeah, I don't really know his work besides Yokozuna.
Fake fan.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to have a old school wrestling expert sometime. Probably somebody that knows his stuff.
We need to bring in Demo from Barrio Toys or West Coast, Steven West Coast.
Ooh, yup, West Coast, yeah. I think, West Coast, I would know him a lot. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. I keep up with the times, you know?
And Jim Cornette, bro. I can't believe you saved Jim Cornette, bro. I saved him for the last.
To be honest, I thought you were going to say Paul Heyman.
Damn.
I thought you were even going to say Vince McMahon. Hell,
Damn.
Shane McMahon, even Stephanie McMahon.
No, bro. I had to save Jim Cornette for last.
Jim Cornette, I don't know his stuff. I do know that what was it, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, where I did see a video where he had a Ninja Turtle and a mummy wrestle. I mean, I don't know why he's calling other people outlaw shows when you pretty much cater to that and to the fans. I mean, it's not until he reaches WWF when he reaches peak, literally his peak. I mean, did he book the Montreal Screwjob?
That's what they say he did. But so back to Jim Cornette, he managed a lot of people. He managed Owen Hart. He managed like Yokozuna. He managed the fucking the Heavenly Bodies. He managed Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, the Midnight Express. He managed a lot of teams.
That's who it was, Midnight Express. I remember. Well, actually, I don't remember. I only remember Midnight Express because when Joey Janela and Sonny Kids were teaming up, Joey Janela got under the skin of Jim Cornette so fucking fast, bro. That man has triggered energy for anything, bro. Joey Janela was fucking around on Twitter and say, oh yeah, we're gonna call our tag team, him and Sonny Kids' tag team, the Midnight Express. And right away, the man started like, rah, 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 rah. I started barking, yapping like a little chihuahua.
Jesus, a little chihuahua. All right, Adrian, you got any other segments here?
Yes, actually, I do. Speaking of keeping up with the times, because that's what we'd like to do here, and like I said, it'd be cool to have a old school wrestling historian here on the show one day. But Rich Holland has come under fire for injuring one half of the Pretty Deadly in his recent match in SmackDown. You know, it's not the first time where the man has been an unsafe worker. You know, he dropped Adam Cole on his head, he dropped Big E on his head, and he overthrew the guy from Pretty Deadly. I don't know their names, sorry guys. But yeah, he came under fire for being an unsafe worker. And doesn't WWE have a developmental and a performance center and all of the above and training facilities all over the world? But for some reason, my man did not get the training sessions he deserves.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. So I know he said on Twitter that, you know, it's not his fault because it's all has to do with the way Elton Prince landed and that they talked about it. Injuries happen. We all know that. And I think it's just one of those freak accidents. Is he really to blame here? I don't know. I'm going to say no on this one.
I was going to say the same thing. I don't really like to blame people. Accidents do happen, but a lot of people online, they're not forgiving. They come out with heat. And I remember reading a comment and somebody was saying, bro, this is 3 different moves on 3 different individuals that weigh 3 different pounds. Somebody has to teach this man to learn his own strength. I mean, I think he dropped Big E. I don't think he picked him up high enough.
I think it had to do with just the mistiming of Big E's jump and this guy throwing Big E.
Training would have helped. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yeah. Another topic I want to talk about. Remember a couple weeks ago, I was talking about Sammy Guevara's gear with the purple and gold?
Yeah.
And I said, I think that's inspired by Razor Ramon's yellow and gold.
I rember that.
It was actually inspired by Eddie Guerrero. He posted it on his Twitter.
Bro, I had no fucking idea.
I swear. Yeah, I had no idea too. I knew it had to be inspiration from somebody. Those color patterns are recognizable, you know? Kind of like Stone Cold's black trunks, The Rock's black trunks, and the eyebrow bow on the back. Paul Levesque with the 3 H's, black trunks. Iconic gear.
Hold on, speaking of Eddie Guerrero, Bo, if you're in Sacramento, California, specifically Roseville, California, head out to Barrio Toys. They got some great Eddie Guerrero merchandise. They got some great wrestling merchandise in general. And if you haven't seen on our Instagram or Facebook, we have a contest currently going on. We're raffling off a signed autograph poster from Chavo Guerrero Jr. and the legendary lucha wrestler Conan from WCW. So all you got to do is go to our Instagram. You got to like it. You got to share it. Tag 2 of your lucha buddies. And follow us, Trigger Wrestling, and follow Barrio Toys. And you may win this Lucha Loot prize pack. So don't forget to do that.
And when is the winner going to be announced?
The winner's going to be announced July 26th on our next podcast.
All right, that's pretty cool. One last thing I want to talk about is a free agent. A little name known as Nick Aldis.
He's not going to WWE. He's not going to WWE.
Ooh.
Lost in the shuffle, my guy.
To be honest, I like Nick Aldis. I don't even want him in AEW. Only because, you just got Jay White. You have MJF and you try to build skinny ass Adam Cole as a main eventer. The roster is full, my guy.
Yeah, in WWE, they don't need him unless they're going to keep him NXT for quite a while. But he's at that age where he needs to not be on NXT. He needs to be on the main roster. But they already have LA Knight, which is a very similar type of gimmick. Same with AEW. If you put him up there, he's not going to fit in the mid card. He's going to be a main eventer, and what is he going to do? Automatically challenge MJF, overpass Adam Cole, overpass everybody else, and he has a very similar gimmick to Cody Rhodes, to LA Knight, to MJF. We'll see where it goes. I mean, there's a lot of potential there, but I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't know if there's a spot for him.
Well, hopefully you find something. Maybe go to New Japan. They got the G1 Climax going on. I know it's too late to join, but hey, make some noise on your own. Create a faction. Join Bullet Club Gold or something.
Join Bullet Club Gold. No mames. Create a faction like Chris Jericho, bro. Join the Don Callis family.
Yep.
All right. Well, Adrian,
I'm done.
That's our episode for today, bro. Catch our videos from Collectible Stampede. They will be coming out shortly. Catch us with Dios del Inframundo and Aaron Solo at Collectible Stampede. Stuff will be posted. Keep an eye out for it.
Yep. For those who are listening to us outside the Sacramento area, Supreme Pro Wrestling is a local promotion here in Sacramento, California. They have amazing wrestlers up and coming as well. They also have people from out of country as well. Last time they had R1 from France, Tarzan Duran from the Jungles. A lot of people, man. A lot of people.
Yep. But I'm Brian. That's Adrian. We're Triggered Wrestling.
Stay triggered.
Bang, bang.